Thank you to the Sikh Society and thank you to the university, and most importantly, thank you to Guru Sahib for allowing us to celebrate Vaisakhi together. And first of all, lakh badaiyan sareyan nu Vaisakhi diyan. Huge congratulations on the auspicious event of Vaisakhi to everyone here celebrating. So, our aim for Jasmine, do we have about 30 minutes? How long do we have? 25, no problem. That's cool. So within the next 20 or 25 minutes, the aim would be to go through a summary of the historical event of Vaisakhi, why it's so important to us, what actually happened on that day, and how it's commemorated and people still celebrate within today's world. But before we start anything within a Sikh tradition, we always do what's called a Mangalacharan, which is an invocation, a plea, a prayer, a request to the Guru, to God themselves, to ask them for help and to guide us with what we're about to do. In this case, to talk about the great event of Vaisakhi and to open up the discussion to all of us here. So I'll start with a short prayer and then we'll begin with the Guru's greeting, the Guru's Fateh. Vaheguru Sahib Ji, Mukh Utara Sastra Khat, Ping Giran Char Jai, Andalakha Badaro Suna, Jo Kar Kripa Karai, Kaha Buddha Prabhu Tuch Hamari, Baranasaka Mahama Jyotihari, Ham na Sakat Kar Sifat Tumari, Aap Liho Tum Katha Sudhari, Ham na Sakat Kar Sifat Tumari, Aap Liho Tum Katha Sudhari. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Please do feel free to put your hands up, interject at any point if there's any questions. If you listen to me for 25 minutes, you'll all be nodding off by the end of it. So please do put your hands up and ask at any point if there's any questions or anything you'd like further clarification on. It's really amazing to see people from all sorts of backgrounds, but I appreciate that there'll be a lot of new terminology. Some of you probably won't understand my Birmingham accent, so please just ask if you need clarification on anything. So this picture gives a great overview as to what Vaisakhi is about. And here we have our 10th Guru, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, who is the creator of the Khalsa. And the Khalsa was what was created on the day of Vaisakhi. The Khalsa is the collection of initiated, baptized Sikhs that have gone through the traditional ceremony that traces its origins back to Vaisakhi in 1699. And in this picture, we see Guru Gobind Singh Ji asking for a head and someone to commit themselves fully to the Guru. And in 1699, on the hills of Anandpur Sahib, which is the northern region of Punjab, with tens of thousands of congregation members, this was what was witnessed. And one by one, the 5 beloved ones who you know as the Panj Pyare, by Daya Singh, by Dharam Singh, by Himmat Singh, by Mohkam Singh, by Sahib Singh, they all came up slowly to offer their head and their service and their life with it to the Guru and everything they had with them. And eyewitnesses of the time say that one by one, as they came up and they bowed down to the Guru took them to within a tent and beheaded them. Now this might seem like a bit of a crazy idea. Why is the Guru chopping off random people's heads? But what it signifies, and this is something that we also do when we go to a Gurdwara, if you think about our body, the head is the highest part in which our mind is created, and all of our thoughts and intellects and everything we have valuable, as well as our heart, is within our head. So by bowing down and offering your head, you offer everything that comes with it, the body, and everything that is you. And what these 5 Sikhs did, and the tradition they started, was to give everything and submit to the Guru. And at that point, Guru Gobind Singh Ji brought them back to life as new people with new souls, with a new vision. And that was as a Khalsa, someone that had committed their life to the Guru, to the Sikh Panth, and also to God Almighty. And just before we get into things and delve a little bit further, I want to clarify, what is a Guru? How do Sikhs view God? And what's the relationship between the Guru and God? And within the verses of Bhai Gurdas Ji, who is a prominent Sikh scholar, the uncle of the 5th Guru, Guru Arjan Dev Ji, we hear that Suni Pukar Da Tar Prabh Guru Nanak Jag Mahe Pathaya. Why is it that the first Guru Nanak Dev Ji came to this world? The whole world was crying out, Suni Pukar Da Tar Prabh, crying out because of all the sin and the bad deeds that were happening within this world and weighing it down. And the world itself, as a being, was crying out to God. Guru Nanak Jag Mahe Pathaya. As a result, God sent down Guru Nanak Dev Ji. But the key difference between Sikhi and how we view our leader, the Guru, compared to, say, Abrahamic religions or other religions of the world, is that we don't believe a messenger was sent. We know that God themselves came down and took a form. So when I'm referring to a Guru, that's what I'm referring to, God themselves in a human form, which is a fundamental difference and something that is of super importance to us. We have Guru Nanak Dev Ji, which is the first Guru, and there were subsequent Gurus, and today is going to focus on Guru Gobind Singh Ji, who was the last human Guru, and then passed that light on, that light of truth, to the scriptural form of the Guru, which is present in any Gurdwara that you go to today, Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So I hope that clarifies, and if anyone has any further questions, please do ask. I can't read minds yet, but I'm working on it. So, the Panj Pyare, those 5 Sikhs that stood up, what do they represent? And even their names hold huge significance. The first one was called, his name was Bhai Daya Singh. And the order in which they actually came up signifies the order in which we should take on certain virtues. What virtues would the ideal human being have? And consequently, should the Khalsa have, should that Sikh that is trying to merge back with the Creator and do good within the world at the same time? The first one is daya, compassion. The key virtue that underpins good is compassion. And that's the first thing as Sikhs we try to embody. With compassion, what can we start to instill? Dharam, which is truth and righteousness. Without having compassion for others, we can't necessarily differentiate what's right, what's wrong. And also, it's hard to connect with other people. If we're not compassionate, we're not going to feel the suffering of other people. We're not going to be able to connect with the emotions of other people. And as a result, it's going to be hard for us to be righteous and stand for the truth. Following on, once we've understood and we have empathy and compassion for other people, we understand what needs to be done, we then need the strength to go out and do it, which is where himmat comes. The fourth Panj Pyare, the fourth beloved one, his name was Mohkam, which gives us steadfastness, unwavering commitment to righteousness, and not wavering in the face of tyranny. And once all 4 of those have been attained, we have Sahib, which translates to someone being a sovereign or a king, a ruler in their own right. And for us to be rulers of our own minds, our own bodies, but also collectively within our localities, those 4 virtues underpin what makes the perfect human being, and the human being that can start to create a sort of utopia or the perfect world. And I thought it'd be interesting for you all to understand and learn about how is Amrit made. So at Vaisakhi, the initiation ceremony is called an Amrit Sanchar. And that means when someone is given Amrit. Now, many of you might have friends called Amrit. We're not talking about those people. Here we're talking about Amrit, which is a special ceremonial drink that is created and then given to each person coming to be initiated. And here you can see the Panj Pyare, 5 beloved ones making Amrit. And one of the beautiful things Guru Gobind Singh Ji did was they invested their power within Sikhs. And they said that whenever 5 practicing Sikhs come together that are respected within the community, do a lot of service for other people, but also have very high moral, ethical, and spiritual standards, they are my embodiment. And which is a very powerful thing with us, within our history, and also within the common day. And similarly, when this ceremony is to take place, 5 upstanding members of the Sikh community that have very high levels of spirituality and also do a lot of service locally, they are chosen to take on and embody the form of Guru Gobind Singh Ji and take out this ceremony, which is why you're seeing 5 there. And what you'll see in the picture is a batta, a bowl, an iron bowl, is placed with water and sugar crystals, so it's quite a nice and sugary sweet. And one by one, they each recite a prayer, and this prayer is done by memory as well. The 5 prayers that are recited are the 5 prayers we read as part of our Nitnem, our daily routine. Japji Sahib, Jap Sahib, Saviyya, Jope Sahib and Anand Sahib. So this is standard for any Sikh to read in the morning. And that's the same words, the same prayers that are infused within that water and turn that water into a nectar. And one by one, they'll each hold a khanda, which is a type of sword. And as the first will start reading, they will move that khanda around, which has 2 main reasons. The first one is to dissolve the sugar crystals within that water, but also to move the water around and allow the prayer to go within that water and be infused within that water, which changes it from mere water to a nectar that holds immense power. And this goes around one by one, and at the end of it, a prayer is done to thank God for allowing them to take out the ceremony, ask for any forgiveness, ask for forgiveness for any mistakes they have made. And then after that, the initiates are given Amrit. And here you can see there's 3 main ways in which you actually take on Amrit. You're given that nectar, you're given that liquid. And the first one is that it's splashed within your eyes. Secondly, it's given as a drink. And thirdly, it's put within your gears, within your hair, which is very sacred for a Sikh. It's one of the 5 Ks. And one of the 5K, the only 5K we're born with. And that's how the Amrit enters our body, through those 3 areas, if you like. There's a few more pictures as well. Does anyone have any questions at this point, or would anyone like to add anything? I'm either doing a really good job or you guys are really shy. Now, one of the beautiful things about Sikhi being a relatively new religion is that many of our artifacts, our historical references and physical weapons are still available for us to view today. And the first khanda, the first sword that Guru Gobind Singh Ji themselves prepared that nectar, that Amrit with, is still available and is shown every evening at a Gurdwara, at a Sikh temple in Anandpur Sahib, and you can see it there. So that was the actual sword of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And also the katar. A katar is a handheld stabbing weapon that the Guru would use as well. So we're very blessed, and if anyone ever gets a chance to go to India or Punjab, you can see these things with your own eyes, which is an amazing sight and an amazing experience within itself. So let's delve deeper into why is this important, and what's the aim for a Sikh within this world? Why did the Guru create this nectar, and what's its aim? So Amrit itself has a beautiful meaning, and within Gurmukhi and Punjabi, whenever you have what's called an era, which is the first letter there, followed by another word, the era negates the following word. It's part of what we call Vyakaran, or the grammar of Punjabi. Now, Mrit itself, which is the second part of the word, means death or time. So by taking Amrit, one goes beyond death and one goes beyond the bounds of time. So what do we mean by that? How do you go beyond death? Does that mean that Mandeep Singh, myself, I'll live on forever and become all wrinkly? Hopefully not. It means that our soul never dies and our soul lives on to the next place. And also we are not bound by time, which is true of our soul as well. So what are we here to do? Not just as Sikhs, but as human beings, we believe, and we've been told, that our aim is to merge back with our Creator. Our aim is to merge back with God and experience the bliss that the world can't offer us. The bliss of this world is very temporary. My wife and I were having Krispy Kreme donuts earlier. I went, oh, it's so good. Get me a glass of milk. But then after 5 minutes, I felt bad because I've eaten too much sugar today. You might get your university degree and it will last for a year, and then no one ever asks about it. They'll probably ask if it's from Oxford, to be fair. You might buy a new car, but then as soon as that smell goes, it wears off. The bliss and the happiness of this world is temporary, as is this world itself. The Sikh's vision and the Sikh's aim, as well as what we believe the aim of all humanity to be is to connect with something that never finishes, a source that never runs out, and a bliss that is not limited. And that bliss itself is the Creator, is God. And that's the same God that everyone else believes in. The difference is that we have the Guru as a medium to take us back. And the name we give for God is Waheguru. And it's a mantra or a mantra that we've been given by Guru Nanak Dev Ji, a very powerful thing that we meditate upon. And hopefully, if we have time at the end, we'll spend a few moments reciting it together for those of you that would like to join in, because the vibration is very powerful. And one of the beautiful things about as we connect to God and as we do service of humanity and meditate, our gurus have told us that we start to take on the qualities of God. Just like God is fearless, we ourselves become fearless. Just like God is compassionate, we ourselves become compassionate. God has no enmity for anyone, we ourselves become we have no hatred for anyone. And imagine being in a world where you're not scared of what other people think, you're not scared of anyone, and you have compassion for all. Many of the diseases of the world today would be eradicated. So that's where we're aiming for. So once you've gone through that ceremony, you've taken Amrit, what does your life look like? So with a few of the things, our aim is to merge back with God, and we don't believe that you have to wait till death for that to happen. That can happen right here, right now, and you can tap into that power source. We've been walking around, maybe flying around in many, many different life forms. So Sikhs believe within reincarnation, and we believe there's a number on it as well. The Gurus have told us that there are 8.4 million different life forms, and we're right at the top of the pecking order. And the reason that a human life is supreme and is the most exciting is because we are the only conscience, we have the only consciousness, we are the only being that has the consciousness that enables us to connect to God. We have our Nityanem, our daily routine, what consists of 5 prayers in the morning, a prayer in the evening, and a small prayer before we go to bed. And that keeps us topped up, if you like. It allows us to connect to God, connect to other people when we do it in Sangat, when we do it with congregation, and also gives us the important teachings we need to go out and do good and the best we can within this world. The other thing that's super important for a Sikh is Daswand. Das means 10 and Wand means to give out. So as a Sikh, we're told to give out 10% of our earnings and 10% of everything we have as a minimum. But not just our earnings, also our time to help others, and 10% of our day to connect to God as a minimum. Another vital part and a huge factor within Sikhi is Sarbat Tapala. And we believe this is why the Khalsa was created. What is the mission of Sikhs on this earth is summarized by the following saying, Sarbat Tapala. So Sarbat means all. Does anyone know what Pala means? I know some of you know. Don't make me start using this laser. Anyone? Pala? At the back? Sorry? Welfare, yeah, and prosperity. So welfare, prosperity, happiness, and the good for all. Well-being, benefit, there we go. And this starts from the first Guru, Guru Nanak Dev Ji. So I'm going to highlight a few examples and we'll start rounding off. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji themselves, as you can see within this picture, started the institution of Langar, which many of you may have actually seen. If anyone, can I just have a quick show of hands if anyone's visited a Gurdwara, a Sikh temple? Okay, maybe half, that's great. Maybe the Sikh Society can do a visit, that'd be good as well. So if you go into any Sikh temple, any Gurdwara, there will be a communal kitchen which is open to all, whether you believe in God or not. Just on a humanitarian level, giving access to food, a warm meal for everyone. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji pioneered that when they took their father's initial investment of 20 rupees and used it to feed the needy. We have great warriors like Baba Deep Singh Ji, who was a general at the time of Guru Gobind Singh Ji, and got to such a spiritual level where in the midst of a battle, they were able to continue fighting even though they had been beheaded. And our history writes that they walked for 8 kilometers with their head in one hand and a kanda weighing 16 kilograms in the other. You can imagine what the enemy were thinking at that point. I would not want to be up against that. And Baba Deep Singh Ji is famous for countering the raids of Ahmed Shah Abdali and Nadir Shah, very famous rulers that came from Afghanistan and looted and plundered India and took back with them the women of India, the girls of India, and the children of India. And it was the warriors like Baba Deep Singh Ji that would go on guerrilla missions to free those women and within a single attack, freed up to 300 women, returning them to their houses. Does anyone know who this photo is? I know there's a few historians in the room. Anyone? Sorry? Oh, technical difficulty. Imagine you didn't see it. It's Maharaja Ranjit Singh. And Maharaja Ranjit Singh was the ruler of Punjab before it was annexed and wrongfully taken over by the British. And Maharaja Ranjit Singh ji, for us, epitomizes what society should be like. Under his rule, we saw Punjab prosper like it had never seen before. And demographically at that point, Sikhs were only 7% of the population within Punjab. And that Punjab was much bigger than it currently is now. It was 6 times as big. It included Pakistan and also regions within the north of India, Himachal Pradesh and Haryana. 50% were Muslims, 42% were Hindus, and we saw a time of happiness and growth that had not been seen in the world at that time. And it was said that the generals of Napoleon would come to Punjab to learn about warfare. It was said that the brightest minds within the world would come to learn about maths and science and the arts. And that was a place where every religion was tolerated and also celebrated. There would be holidays on Eid, Christmas, and obviously Sikh festivals as well. And Maharaja Ranjit Singh ji would attend these himself. Unfortunately, we had the British attack on Punjab and India at the time, and this coming to an end about 6 or 7 years after his death, and the politics of a kingdom as it is. And an interesting excerpt that I saw whilst researching to summarize what that rule was like was the people of Peshawar, which is an area of Afghanistan. And even though they were Muslim, they used to pray for Maharaja Ranjit Singh, and they used to say that Khuda hum Khalsa Shuddh, that the Waheguru God, Khuda, which is what the Muslims call God, Khudai, is on the side of this Khalsa, because this Khalsa, their aim isn't just for themselves, their aim is to go out and bring prosperity and safety and happiness to all. And today, we see one of many examples. This is an organization called Khalsa Aid that operate in all sorts of areas. I believe that's in Sudan or somewhere within the Middle East, where they're out doing refugee work and also supporting those people that need it the most. Now, I'd like to admit, unfortunately, we're not quite where we should be as an organization, as a community in terms of helping people. We've still got a long way to come. But our ideals are there, and we're all collectively striving for that ideal where a time will come within the world where anyone knows, if I need help, the Sikhs are the people I need to go to. And hopefully we'll be in a position where we can offer that as well. And for me, the aim of the Khalsa is to pray and protect. Protect ourselves and protect those people that need it in whichever way, shape or form that might be. And also, because of our ideals, because of our aims, a lot of people didn't like it. And we've constantly been a target. At the time of the Mughal regimes, starting from Jahangir to Aurangzeb, we have been constantly attacked. The Gurus themselves martyred. Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji himself gave up his life to protect the Hindus who were being persecuted and converted at alarming rates within Punjab and across India. We then had the British who infiltrated Punjab and took over India and also took away a lot of our traditions, certain prayers that we are told to read before war. The Bani of Guru Gobind Singh Ji was infiltrated and very cleverly taken away and stripped from us. And now even today, the state of India has been oppressing Sikhs since its inception in 1947. And this is something that we've been born into, it's something that we've lived through, and it's something that we will probably continue to face because of our aims, which doesn't serve most governments, unfortunately. I pray one day it will. And I'd just like to finish with an excerpt from our history, written by a contemporary of the Gurus, by Jetha Ji, that talks about what is the role of a Khalsa and what is a Sikh like. And we hear Kabit, Yahi su bichar gur man lina tar ab, Sikh ko ayodh sat haath pakadaungu. Guru Gobind Singh Ji made a resolution that he himself will furnish every Sikh with weapons. For many of you that know, many of you might know, an initiated Sikh wears 5 Ks, one of those being a Kirtan, a dagger that we keep on us at all times. Sabat Sarup Sikh Jati Sati Hoega O Gyani Tyani Yoda Gur Sikh Ko Banaugo. What will Sikhs look like and what will they do within this world? They will have long hair and they will have control over their senses and they will have truth within them. They will also be Gyanis, scholars, and also Tyanis, people that can concentrate spiritually, and also warriors. Within the midst of millions, their soba, their beauty will arise, and that's why it's quite easy to recognize me walking around in Oxford, because we're born to stand out. This is the kind of Sikh I will create, that whenever someone needs help, they will see that Sikh, they will identify us and know that we are people that can be trusted. I'll form such a Sikh that there will be friends of the meek, astute statesmen, adept in the art of governance, and experts of knowledge. And this is what we're all striving to do. One, to save ourselves, but also to be the best influence we can on people around them and make a positive impact within this world. So that brings me to a very quick summary of what Vaisakhi is, why we celebrate it, and the origins, the historical origins, and what that means for Sikhs today, and also a short insight as to the aim of a Sikh and the life of a Sikh within today's world. Again, a huge thank you. I'd just like to plug our organization. If anyone's interested in learning more, our charity is called Basics of Sikhi. We do talks such as this. You can call us to events. If anyone has a local program at their Gurdwara, we can attend. Or if there's interfaith panels, we've sat on many, many times across the globe. We can come and be a voice for the Sikhs for anyone that's interested. And we have quite a cool YouTube page as well, which is full of English videos. There's various playlists, short Q&As, and also short videos which are great insights to the basics of the religion, as goes the name. So again, a huge thank you, and I'd just like to spend a few minutes giving people a chance, if anyone has any, for any questions about something you might have heard of today, or anything absolutely random at all. Yes?
So you made reference to 5Ks.
Yes.
Would you mind explaining what this is?
Yeah, of course, thank you, great question. So the 5Ks, you have your kara, which is the iron bracelet we keep with us, and this has many different benefits. One of them that is made from iron, and we've seen within our history, and also scientifically, it's also been proven to be a very good metal for many reasons. But in a spiritual sense, it's told that it keeps away bad spirits. Also, iron is a very cheap thing to buy. So anyone that wanted to become a Sikh didn't have to go and have all these expensive things. It was accessible for everyone. And the way I like to think about it is we usually put it on the hand in which we act with the most. So I'm right-handed, I'll have it in my right hand. And if I want to do something bad, I normally go and do it with my hand, right? And for me, it's like a friendship bracelet to God. It reminds me that God is with me, so probably better not steal those sweets from the pick and mix in Asda or whatever I'm about to do. But also, if I'm about to do something good, quite often doing good things in the world can be very difficult. There might be 10 friends looking at you and judging you, and maybe stopping you from doing something. It might be someone else who's your opposition. But that friendship bracelet reminds us that God is with us and the power of God is with us as well. So that's the first one. The second one is our gaze, which means uncut hair. And gaze is a beautiful thing. One, it makes us look very different. Secondly, scientifically it's been proven to absorb a lot of bad bacteria, protects us from things like UV radiation. But spiritually, our gaze, our hair act as mini antennas that help us to connect to God. And there have been certain Gursikhs, certain Sikhs within today's world and also recent history, when they've gone for medical examinations and the stethoscope is put on their chest, all they can hear are prayers, the words of Waheguru, 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 coming from each of their hairs. So these act as like little boosters, if you like, Wi-Fi boosters. We have, what's the other ones? Ganga, which is a small comb that we keep within our hair, a wooden comb that allows us to keep cleanliness of our hair at all times. And we normally do that twice a day as a minimum, in the morning and the evening. The fourth one is a Kirtan, which is a blade that we keep on us at all times. And it's not just ceremonial, it can be used and is legal within the UK. But we don't try not to make a big deal out of it. You know, it's not something I'll run around in the playground with at school. It's something that I'll keep on me. and only ever use as a last resort. So that's, if there's a situation in the street, I'll try calming the person down, I'll try asking for help, I'll try detaining the person using my hands and my body. If there's no other option, then by all means I'll use this as a part of defense, not for myself, but for anyone else as well. And the last one is a kashera, which are undergarments that keep us from and try and act as a barrier from lust. So they're very loose, and also they have a knot within them. And quite often when we're about to do a lustful act, which is one of the most dangerous things we believe to spirituality, lust, and we see lust in many, many forms within the Western world, and it's monetized as well. That knot acts again as a barrier to make us think twice about before doing what we're about to do. So those are the 5 Ks. Thanks for asking that. Hope that summarizes and try to give you a quick meaning as to why we have each of them. Any other questions? I'll be around for a short while as well if anyone wants to come up. Please do. Okay, thank you. Sorry for going over by a few minutes. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Thank you so much. With this, we conclude our events at Cohen Quad. We will go and head over to Exeter College, where we will have a formal dinner and some pre-drinks before that, and I hope everyone's joining us for that. So we're going to walk together to Exeter College now. Thank you so much for being here at Cohen Court, and thank you so much to Mandeep Singh and to this insightful talk. And if you have any questions anytime, feel free to approach the Sikh Society, Basics of Sikhi on their website or YouTube channel, or anyone else you can find around. Thank you so much for being here.